Half of all Americans say that they've been going on fewer dates due to the state of the economy. Nearly half of all single Americans think dating is not financially worth it. The average date in the US costs $189 as of February 2026, which is up 12.5% from 2025. On top of that, 50% of Gen Z and 40% of millennials say the cost of dating gets in the way of reaching their financial goals.
Why would I spend $100 on someone I might not even vibe with?
So we're seeing that there's this increased cost of living and it's lowering our dating frequency and how we're seeing or perceiving dating. We're seeing people have fewer dinners out and there's a lower tolerance for higher risk meetups.
Many dating apps are struggling to maintain monthly active users. Wall Street has noticed. The top two dating app stocks, Match Group and Bumble, have been on the decline since the end of the pandemic.
So I think it's not just dating, but in general, life becoming more expensive can be an important part of dating and people's ability to find romantic matches.
I think that fundamentally we are looking at broad structural changes that influence people's marriageability or dateability perceptions, both of themselves and of other individuals. And that makes them disinclined to enter into the dating market. For young men in particular, their economic prospects and dating prospects are very much linked and have never, frankly, been more grim.
So, what happens when finding love takes more financial risk? Almost everything has gotten more expensive in the past 6 years, and dating's no exception. The typical Gen Z American went on about 9 dates in 2025, and with Gen Z spending about $205 per date on average, that number includes everything such as transportation, clothing, grooming, and what you're actually spending on the date. That works out to roughly $1,845 per year.
Gen Z now ranges from teenagers to people in their late 20s, so there isn't one clean government income figure for the whole generation.
But among full-time workers as of late 2024, median annual earnings were just under $40,000 for ages 16 to 24 and around $59,000 for ages 25 to 34. That means dating accounts for around 3 to nearly 5% of their annual income.
When the cost of living rises, people date much more defensively. They're taking fewer chances and fewer connections are formed.
It's also going to take away from your mental budget, right? You're not going to be able to pay as much attention. You're probably not going to feel as much in mood to feel happy, to channel yourself in the best light. And that's going to take away from your interest in trying to go into these romantic partnerships as well.
There's such a higher chance that something doesn't click. And then there goes, your $40 dinner bill down the drain on, someone that you might never talk to again.
On a first date in New York City, I would probably spend around $45 to $50. It's enough not to break the bank. I budget around $150 to $200 a month for dating.
I try to hedge my bets when it comes to first dates, and I go to something that is not necessarily an expensive date, just drinks or coffee. Something where, if I spend an extra $10 on this person that I may not like, it's not the end of the world.
That financial pressure is a difficult hurdle to clear. Money is an early, unavoidable part of dating.
I think you have to budget a little bit for it.
Fear of financial entanglement and financial commitment when it comes to dating can make people much slower to commit or even much quicker to retreat if there's a sign that something might be off. People may look at dating as being something that could theoretically be an investment. Financially, if you're putting in this money, you're hoping to get an investment in the same way you would if you were paying for a Netflix subscription and hoping to get a good deal of entertainment. But dating is very dissimilar from taking a movie on a streaming service.
Paying for the dates themselves is not the only cost. 35% of dating app users say they have paid for one of the platforms.
Many of these apps work on what's called a freemium premium strategy, even though you can sign up for free. In order to be able to take advantage of some of the more desirable features, you might have to pay a subscription price.
From the end of World War II until 2013, the most popular way for straight couples to meet in the US was through friends. But now the vast majority are meeting online.
One of the things that online dating platforms they've managed to bring to our life is a greater range of people. They tend to generally increase our pool size. And sometimes that can be a bit deceiving in the sense that it seems like you have a lot of different options, but it's not necessarily the case because in general, there tends to be an imbalance in terms of mutual interest between the two sides of the platform.
I think it pushes a lot of quantity. There's been many times where like I'll go on first date with a girl and I'll just be like, I don't feel like we vibe. And that's okay.
Even though you might be seeing and potentially starting conversations with many different people, you're most likely not going to go into anything beyond those initial conversations with those people on the apps.
I think I paid for like Hinge for like a month. I think honestly, it's the gamification. Psychologically, it does work that you're like, oh, you're going to only get seen by X amount of people in a day. But if you pay us a tiny bit more, you get to see more people. So I think at a certain point, you're like, okay, let's do this for a month and just see where it goes.
All three of the top apps provide different tiers for paid plans. Each tier unlocks various features such as advanced filtering and being able to see who has liked your profile without having to swipe. One major complaint about dating apps is that pricing can be opaque. In a 2024 class action lawsuit, Match Group was accused of deceptive practices tied to subscriptions, in-app purchases, hidden algorithms, and what the complaint describes as artificial bottlenecks that push users toward paid features. Match has denied wrongdoing in the case. When asked to participate in this report, a Match Group spokesperson told CNBC, "The vast majority of users on our freemium apps, including Tinder and Hinge, use the platform for free, and we design those experiences to be engaging, valuable, and complete on their own. Subscriptions are optional and provide additional tools for those who want more control or a more efficient experience, but they are not required to have success or make meaningful connections. We're focused on helping users make meaningful connections that ultimately lead to meeting in real life."
If there are different price levels, that will be an example of what we refer to as price discrimination. Price discrimination is the concept of trying to set a few different price levels for different versions of the product that you are getting that might be in your best interest. Dynamic pricing would be changing prices over time, whereas price discrimination is across different people. We create different versions of the product and we sell them these different versions of the product with different features, or in other contexts, it could be different quantities packaged together.
In other words, not every pricing difference is the same thing. Some of it may just be different tiers or packages. But consumer advocates and plaintiffs have argued some dating apps also use more opaque pricing practices that are hard for users to understand.
That same lawsuit also points to swipe limits and premium features that promise greater visibility or better odds. And Match's own subscription screens show how many core features are locked behind paid plans.
If you are a longer-term consumer, then of course I retain higher rents from you. I maintain a higher profit over time.
It's a system of pay to play. And if you have the money, then you will be able maybe to get the partner, or you will be able to have more success on dating apps.
When asked to participate in this report, Bumble told CNBC, "Similar to others in the industry, we use a freemium model. Our focus is for the free experience to provide a safe and high-quality experience for our members, and there are countless couples who have found each other this way. Our paid features cater to those in our community who are looking for a more tailored experience. Ultimately, our business thrives on real recommendations of people who found love IRL on Bumble. That's why we're focused on building features that help members build authentic online connections that can grow into real-life relationships." Even as dating apps ask users to spend more, Wall Street has been questioning whether the business is really working. JP Morgan labeled Bumble one of its top short ideas for 2026, arguing that user engagement was still under pressure and that revenue could fall by double digits. Then in March, it upgraded the stock to neutral, saying the app was starting to stabilize and that a relaunch, AI features, and other product changes could help. One way the dating apps are pivoting is getting into in-person dating events. Bumble launched Bumble IRL in 2022. Hinge announced One More Hour in 2023, and Grindr partnered with the London music festival Mighty Hoopla. Tinder also announced in March 2026 a new in-app feature called Events, which the app says will help singles meet offline.
One of the big business problems is breaking ice and helping people to get off the app in a successful way. This is almost always a challenge. It's difficult to monetize conversations. If people are getting off the app, right? Let's say that we meet, we exchange phone numbers, we're no longer communicating on the app. If I can somehow monetize their offline meetings, make their offline meetings, at least the first couple ones, part of an event where I can either charge them something or I can maybe make money from sales of drinks or something else, then it also helps me to extend the period of time where I can make money from users. So it's part of a good monetization strategy as well.
These in-person events aren't organic and they do cost money, but there seems to be a demand to get out into the real world, especially for Gen Z and millennials. There are growing signs that they want to meet people more organically, such as through mutual friends, at an activity or class, or at an event or a bar. Beyond dating apps, third spaces and membership clubs are also becoming a booming business. So it may be a trend that the people who can pay to meet others in more intentional spaces are the ones who get the best chances at finding a connection.
I kind of just really go with the flow. If I meet someone in person, awesome. If I meet someone online, awesome. That's not really going to make a huge difference.